How to create flawless cakes using icing sheets with Frost Form. Now the first thing you want to do is prepare your cake. So I've stacked my cake layers in my liner and crumb cutter for that perfect straight base. Get rid of these little crumbs on top. Of course you can crumb coat if you like. I'm not going to bother crumb coating for this cake, since if there is any loose crumbs, the icing sheet will cover it. You can use buttercream or ganache when working with icing sheets, but I've gone for mock ganache today because it's easy and delicious, plus super stable. A few taps. I'm just going to freeze this for 45 minutes and it'll be ready to be peeled off. Otherwise, you can refrigerate for about 2 hours and it will be set. See you later. I'll never get over how perfect the results are every single time. And she scores! So we are now going to measure the height of our cake. Handy scraper comes into play and it is precisely 16 centimetres tall. So I'm going to use my extra tall 12-inch scraper because it covers the length. So I need 16 centimetres height for the cake. And I'm just going to mark it just above 16 centimetres. I've got edible pen here. Hold your scraper firmly in place and use a craft knife to cut. Now, if this was a buttercream cake, the icing sheet would adhere to it, no problem. But because we are working with ganache, and any ganache for that matter, you want to use edible glue so that it attaches your icing sheet. You don't need heaps and heaps, you just want to make sure that the coverage is very thorough. All right, you don't want to leave any gaps. Just make sure that you cover the whole cake. Remove the backing on your icing sheet. Okay, will be this thin film. Now to place our first icing sheet like that. So just trimming the second sheet to size so I can fill in the rest of the cake. Make sure you carefully line it up. Now you will have some overhang. Better to have overhang than no overhang. And then you just trim it off. And I'm just going to trim down. If there's a little bit extra on top, just use your craft knife to get rid of any excess. After all, we are cake makers, not architects. And nothing is ever completely perfect. But we try to get it as close as possible. Isn't she an absolute beauty?